Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, afternoon, evening. It's an honor to be standing before you today to talk about something that affects us all, setbacks. We've all faced them, and I'm sure we will face many more in the future. But what if I told you that those very setbacks could be the fuel you need for an even greater comeback? Reframing your mindset is one of the most powerful tools you have when facing setbacks. It is easy to fall into the trap of seeing failure, disappointment, or loss as a permanent state, but this perspective only limits your potential. Instead, if you learn to reframe your mindset, setbacks can become opportunities for growth, learning, and eventual success. When we face setbacks, our immediate emotional response is often one of frustration, anger, or self-doubt. We may ask ourselves why things didn't go as planned or why we've encountered such a challenge. These reactions are completely natural. However, staying stuck in these negative feelings can hold us back from moving forward. It's in these moments of adversity that we must recognize the power of shifting how we think about our situation. Reframing is about changing the way you interpret and respond to a situation. Instead of viewing a setback as an insurmountable obstacle, reframe it as an opportunity to learn something new. For instance, let's say you lost a job that you thought you'd hold for years. The immediate reaction might be one of panic, stress, or even shame. But if you reframe this setback, you can start to see it as an opportunity to reassess your career, identify areas where you can improve, or explore new possibilities that you may have previously overlooked. This shift in perspective can give you the strength to keep moving forward rather than being consumed by negativity. It's important to understand that setbacks do not define your worth or potential. Failure is not a reflection of your abilities, but rather an indication that there is something more for you to discover. When you reframe a setback as a chance to grow, you're essentially telling yourself that you have the ability to turn this situation around. This shift empowers you to act, to learn from the experience, and to use the lessons learned to make better decisions in the future. One of the most successful people in history, Thomas Edison, encountered failure numerous times throughout his career. When asked about his repeated failures during the invention of the light bulb, he famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." This perspective is a perfect example of reframing a setback. Edison did not see his failures as the end of his journey. Instead, he viewed them as part of the process, essential steps that ultimately led to his success. By reframing his mindset, Edison was able to continue pushing forward, experimenting, and innovating. This ability to reframe setbacks is not just important for inventors or entrepreneurs, it's crucial in every aspect of life. Whether in relationships, health, or personal growth, how you view challenges will determine how you respond to them. Take, for example, a person who is struggling with weight loss. They might experience a moment of weakness and indulge in unhealthy food, which could be seen as a setback in their fitness journey. However, by reframing this experience, they can choose not to see it as a failure, but as a learning opportunity. Perhaps they can reflect on why they made the choice, what emotions drove the decision, and how they can plan better next time. Instead of giving up, they can use the setback to develop a deeper understanding of their habits and make more mindful choices going forward. Reframing setbacks also helps to prevent the development of a victim mentality. When we constantly view ourselves as victims of circumstance, we strip ourselves of the power to take control of our lives. However, by reframing a setback, we remind ourselves that we are not helpless. We have the power to decide how we react, how we learn from the experience, and how we move forward. The moment you stop seeing yourself as a victim is the moment you start taking charge of your own comeback. Another key element of reframing is that it helps to foster gratitude. It's easy to get caught up in the negative emotions associated with setbacks, but when you reframe, you open yourself up to finding the silver lining. What are the things you can be grateful for, even in a challenging situation? Perhaps the setback has brought new people into your life, forced you to develop new skills, or opened your eyes to different possibilities. Gratitude doesn't mean ignoring the pain or difficulty, but it allows you to shift your focus away from what's going wrong to what could go right. When you consistently reframe setbacks in your life, you begin to see them as stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. This mindset fosters resilience and mental toughness because you learn to accept failure as part of the process rather than as something to avoid or fear. You build a deeper understanding that every challenge you face is a temporary moment in time, and your response to it determines your future. Each setback becomes an opportunity to get closer to your goals, not further away from them. In conclusion, turning setbacks into comebacks begins with the simple yet profound act of reframing your mindset. When you choose to see setbacks as opportunities for growth, you unlock a whole new level of resilience and determination. By adopting a mindset that views setbacks not as failures but as lessons to be learned from, you empower yourself to move forward and ultimately achieve success. As you navigate life's challenges, remember that the way you think about setbacks will shape your ability to overcome them. With the right mindset, any setback can become a powerful catalyst for your comeback. Embracing resilience is one of the most essential strategies for turning setbacks into comebacks. Resilience is not just the ability to bounce back from adversity, it is the capacity to grow through adversity. It's about finding strength, wisdom, and courage in the midst of challenges. Life doesn't always go as planned. In fact, we often encounter obstacles that seem insurmountable. However, it is how we respond to these challenges, how we choose to move forward, that truly determines our success and growth. Resilience is not a trait that some people are born with and others are not. It is something that can be developed and strengthened over time. Just like a muscle, the more you work on building your resilience, the stronger it becomes. And just like physical fitness, developing resilience requires persistence, effort, and a willingness to push through discomfort. The key to resilience is understanding that setbacks are not permanent. It is the ability to maintain hope and faith even when things seem bleak. One of the core aspects of resilience is the ability to maintain perspective. When a setback happens, our immediate response is often to react emotionally. We may feel hurt, angry, defeated, or overwhelmed. These feelings are completely normal, but if we allow ourselves to stay stuck in these emotions, we miss the opportunity to grow through the experience. Resilience teaches us to step back, take a deep breath, and put the situation into perspective. Instead of allowing ourselves to be consumed by the pain of the moment, resilient individuals understand that setbacks are part of the process and that they are temporary. They see these challenges as an inevitable part of life, but not the defining part of their journey. This ability to maintain perspective is especially important when we are dealing with significant challenges. It is easy to become consumed by a setback when we view it as a defining event. If we lose a job, for example, it might feel like our entire career is over. But resilience allows us to see that this setback is merely a chapter in a much larger story. It is possible to look at the situation from different angles and find opportunities where others might only see problems. In fact, many successful individuals have experienced significant setbacks that ultimately propelled them toward greater achievements. The key is understanding that setbacks do not define who we are or our future potential. Another important element of resilience is learning how to adapt. Life doesn't always go according to plan, and setbacks force us to be flexible and adaptable. When faced with adversity, we often have two choices. We can either fight against the situation or we can adapt and adjust our approach. Resilience teaches us to be adaptive, to stay open to new ideas, and to recognize when we need to pivot. This adaptability helps us see opportunities where others might see walls. Rather than feeling defeated by a setback, resilient people use it as an opportunity to reassess their strategy, adjust their goals, and find new ways forward. A crucial part of adapting is learning to ask the right questions. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" or "Why can't I catch a break?" Resilient people ask, "What can I learn from this?" or "How can I grow through this experience?" These kinds of questions shift the focus away from the problem and onto the solution. They help us see setbacks not as obstacles, but as opportunities for personal growth and development. When you ask yourself how you can learn and adapt, you begin to view challenges as opportunities to refine your skills, deepen your understanding, and make better decisions in the future. Resilience also involves taking ownership of our actions and decisions. It is easy to blame external factors or other people when things go wrong, but this only disempowers us. Resilient individuals take responsibility for their role in the situation. This doesn't mean taking blame for things that are out of your control, but it does mean acknowledging what you can change, what you can improve, and what you can do differently moving forward. This sense of ownership fosters a greater sense of control and empowers us to make the necessary adjustments to our behavior, mindset, or strategy. Taking responsibility is not about being hard on yourself, it's about being honest and proactive about your choices. Resilience is also about emotional strength. When we face a setback, emotions can run high, and it's natural to feel fear, disappointment, or frustration. However, resilience allows us to manage those emotions rather than letting them control us. It's about learning how to process our feelings in a healthy way rather than letting them dictate our actions. Emotions are a natural part of life, but resilient people understand that their emotions do not have to define their outcomes. By acknowledging emotions, processing them, and then refocusing on solutions, we can remain centered and focused in the face of adversity. One of the greatest powers of resilience is its ability to foster hope. Even in the darkest moments, resilient people maintain hope that things will get better. They hold on to the belief that setbacks are temporary, and that with the right mindset, determination, and action, they can move forward. This hope is not naive or unrealistic. It is a grounded belief in one's ability to overcome challenges. It's the confidence that no matter what happens, you will find a way to rise above it. In conclusion, resilience is the cornerstone of turning setbacks into comebacks. It is not about avoiding difficulties, but about developing the strength and mindset to navigate through them. Resilience enables us to maintain perspective, adapt to changing circumstances, take responsibility, manage our emotions, and keep hope alive. It empowers us to see setbacks not as the end, but as the beginning of a new chapter. When you embrace resilience, you no longer see challenges as roadblocks, but as stepping stones to greater success and fulfillment. The setbacks you face today are not permanent, they are just opportunities in disguise, waiting for you to rise above them with greater strength, wisdom, and determination. Taking action, no matter how small, is one of the most powerful steps you can take in the process of turning setbacks into comebacks. When faced with adversity, it's common to feel overwhelmed, uncertain, or paralyzed by the situation. You might look at the obstacle ahead and think, where do I even begin? The key to overcoming this feeling is to focus not on the enormity of the challenge, but on taking the first step, no matter how small it may seem. This momentum, once created, will lead you forward, even when the road seems uncertain. One of the most important things to remember when you experience a setback is that progress is made through consistent action, not in waiting for the right moment or the perfect circumstances. Often people become stuck in a cycle of overthinking or planning, thinking they need to have all the answers or a perfect strategy before taking action. While planning and reflection have their place, action is the key that unlocks progress. If you wait for everything to fall into place, you may end up waiting forever. The truth is that the perfect time to take action may never come. What matters is starting now, no matter how small the initial step. Taking small actions also helps to build momentum. When you take one step forward, it can lead to another, and then another. This chain of actions creates momentum, which is a powerful force in overcoming setbacks. Even if the action you take doesn't immediately solve the problem, it still propels you in the right direction. The act of doing something, anything, helps you break free from feelings of helplessness or frustration. For example, if you're facing a financial setback, you might feel completely overwhelmed by your situation. Rather than staying paralyzed by fear or anxiety, take one small action such as reviewing your budget, calling a financial advisor, or looking for ways to cut unnecessary expenses. This small action shifts your focus from the problem to a potential solution, and this momentum can build into larger, more impactful steps over time. Small actions also help you to regain a sense of control. Setbacks often leave us feeling powerless, like things are happening to us that we can't influence. Taking action, even in small ways, reminds us that we are not helpless. We have the power to make choices and take steps toward change. Control over your actions, no matter how small, helps you regain confidence in your ability to influence your circumstances. When you feel like you've lost control over a situation, the best way to regain it is to take action. This is true not only for overcoming setbacks, but for any aspect of life where you feel stuck or uncertain. It's also important to remember that small actions don't have to be grand gestures. Sometimes the smallest steps are the most important. It could be as simple as making a phone call, sending an email, writing down your thoughts, or organizing your next steps. These actions don't need to be perfect or dramatic, they simply need to move you in the right direction. Each small step is progress, And over time, these seemingly insignificant actions accumulate into meaningful results. Taking small actions also teaches you to focus on what you can control rather than what you can't. When facing setbacks, it's easy to focus on all the things that are out of your control, what others are doing. The economy, the decisions of your company or government, and so on. This can leave you feeling helpless and frustrated. But by taking small actions, you shift your focus back to the things that you can control, the choices you make, the effort you put in, the attitude you bring to the table. Even if the larger situation is still uncertain, focusing on what you can do today will help you feel empowered and less overwhelmed. Another important benefit of taking action is that it helps to eliminate the fear of failure. Often, the reason we procrastinate or avoid taking action in the face of a setback is the fear of failing. But failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of the process. By taking action, you give yourself the chance to learn, adapt, and improve. Every step you take, even if it doesn't result in immediate success, brings you closer to understanding what works and what doesn't. In fact, taking action allows you to test your ideas, experiment, and gather feedback so that you can make better informed decisions moving forward. This approach of learning through doing reduces the paralyzing fear of failure and turns setbacks into opportunities for learning and growth. It's also worth noting that action helps to combat the feelings of isolation that can accompany setbacks. When you're dealing with a setback, you might feel like you're facing the challenge alone. You may even start to believe that no one else understands or that you're the only one struggling. But when you take action, whether it's reaching out for help, joining a community, or working with a mentor, you not only move towards solving the problem, but also connect with others who can provide support, advice, and encouragement. Taking action in the form of reaching out and connecting with others reminds you that you're not alone in your journey. When you take action, you also reinforce your belief in your own abilities. Each time you act, no matter how small, you're proving to yourself that you are capable, resourceful, and resilient. This self-belief becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. The more you take action, the more confident you become, and the more willing you are to take even bigger steps toward your comeback. In conclusion, taking action, no matter how small, is the catalyst that turns setbacks into comebacks. It creates momentum, builds confidence, and shifts the focus from what you can't control to what you can. Every small step you take is a victory, a reminder that you are in charge of your own story. By consistently taking action, you gain valuable experience, learn from your mistakes, and ultimately move closer to achieving your goals. So the next time you encounter a setback, don't wait for the perfect solution to appear. Take that first small step and watch how it leads you toward your comeback. The road to success is built one action at a time. Keeping the bigger picture in mind is an essential element of turning setbacks into comebacks. It is easy to become consumed by the immediate difficulties that setbacks bring, losing sight of the larger journey we are on. However, staying focused on the bigger picture can provide clarity, perspective, and the motivation needed to push through adversity. When we keep our long-term goals and values at the forefront of our minds, setbacks no longer appear as dead ends, but rather as challenges to be navigated on our path to success. When facing a setback, our natural inclination is often to fixate on the immediate obstacles. We might become so immersed in the pain or disappointment of the present moment that we lose sight of the larger vision we've been working toward. For example, a person who is working toward a career goal might face a temporary setback, perhaps a missed promotion, a failed project, or a lost job. In these moments, it's easy to get discouraged and start questioning if the goal is even worth pursuing. But this is where the bigger picture comes in. When you focus solely on the setback itself, you allow it to define your journey. However, when you pull back and look at the larger picture, your long-term ambitions, your vision for your life, you will find the motivation to keep going, even when times get tough. This broader perspective helps us maintain a sense of direction and purpose, even when setbacks threaten to derail us. It is all too easy to become discouraged and feel like giving up when faced with obstacles. But reminding yourself of your ultimate goals can reignite the drive to continue. Keeping the bigger picture in mind means recognizing that setbacks are only temporary and are just one part of the overall process. For instance, if you are working toward building a business and experience a financial setback, instead of letting it dishearten you, you can view it as a lesson that will make you more resilient and resourceful in the long run. Your vision of a thriving business can give you the strength to keep working toward that future. One of the most powerful benefits of focusing on the bigger picture is that it can help you put setbacks into perspective. Often when we face difficulties, we tend to exaggerate their significance, viewing them as insurmountable problems that will prevent us from achieving our goals. However, when we step back and view the situation within the context of our long-term journey, the setback often seems smaller and more manageable. The road to success is rarely a straight line. It's filled with detours, challenges, and unexpected obstacles, but each of these moments contributes to the broader experience and helps us grow. By understanding this, we can navigate setbacks with greater patience and resilience, knowing that each challenge we face is just another step toward our ultimate goal. Additionally, focusing on the bigger picture allows us to keep our values and priorities in mind. Often, setbacks can trigger frustration or lead us to question our decisions, causing us to lose touch with the reasons why we started in the first place. However, by remembering the deeper purpose behind our pursuits, we can regain our focus and maintain the drive necessary to move forward. For example, if you are facing a personal setback, such as a health issue or relationship struggle, keeping your overall life vision in mind can help you recognize that overcoming this challenge will contribute to your long-term well-being and happiness. Your personal growth, the lessons you learn, and your ultimate happiness are worth enduring temporary setbacks. It's this long-term perspective that provides the strength to endure the difficult moments. Moreover, keeping the bigger picture in mind helps to prevent you from getting bogged down by small, temporary failures. Every journey involves setbacks, but they don't define your progress. What defines your journey is your ability to keep going despite the obstacles. If you focus on the immediate disappointment of the setback, it's easy to lose confidence and become demotivated. But when you remember that setbacks are just temporary hurdles, you can let go of the fear of failure and continue to move forward. For example, a student may fail an exam, but that doesn't mean they're incapable of achieving their degree or succeeding in their career. Failure on one exam doesn't define their entire academic or professional future. It's simply a stepping stone toward greater knowledge and success. By remembering the larger goal, graduating, achieving your dreams, you can avoid getting stuck in a cycle of discouragement. When you maintain the bigger picture, you are also better equipped to make more informed decisions. In the heat of a setback, it's easy to act out of desperation, making rash decisions in an attempt to quickly solve the problem. But when you take a step back and focus on the bigger picture, you can make decisions that align with your long-term goals. These decisions are more likely to move you forward in a sustainable way, rather than providing a temporary fix that may not contribute to your broader vision. For example, if you are struggling with a financial setback and are tempted to take a high-risk, short-term solution, keeping your long-term financial goals in mind might help you opt for a more prudent, balanced approach that better positions you for success in the future. The bigger picture is not just about looking ahead, but also about understanding the past. Our setbacks are not isolated incidents, they are part of a much larger story, one that includes everything we have learned and all the challenges we have overcome. By recognizing that every setback is part of this larger narrative, we can find meaning and purpose in even the most difficult moments. Each setback is a chapter in the story of your life, and it's not the setback that matters, but how you use it to shape the next chapter. When you look at your life this way, setbacks become opportunities for growth and transformation, rather than obstacles that halt your progress. Learning from mistakes and failures is an indispensable part of turning setbacks into comebacks. Mistakes are often perceived as something to avoid or fear, but in reality, they are essential to growth and progress. They provide valuable lessons, teach us important skills, and ultimately strengthen our resilience and determination. Rather than viewing mistakes as failures, we can choose to see them as opportunities for learning, improvement, and transformation. Embracing this mindset can significantly shift how we respond to setbacks and help us bounce back stronger and more equipped for the challenges ahead. When we face setbacks, it's easy to fall into the trap of self-criticism or blame. We might question our abilities, feel like we've let ourselves or others down, or wonder if we're simply not good enough. These feelings are normal, but they can also be paralyzing. Instead of being consumed by negative emotions, it's important to take a step back and reflect on what we can learn from the situation. Acknowledging our mistakes and taking responsibility for them is a powerful way to regain control over the situation. By reframing our mistakes as lessons, we open ourselves up to growth and self-improvement, which are crucial for making a successful comeback. One of the most important aspects of learning from mistakes is understanding that setbacks are a natural part of the journey to success. No one achieves greatness without encountering obstacles along the way. In fact, many of the most successful people in the world have experienced multiple failures before reaching their goals. The difference between those who succeed and those who give up is their ability to learn from their mistakes and use those lessons to improve. For example, Thomas Edison famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." His ability to learn from each mistake ultimately led to the creation of the electric light bulb and countless other innovations. If he had given up after his first, second, or 100th failure, the world would be a very different place today. Learning from mistakes also involves being open to feedback and critique. Often we are so focused on our own thoughts and emotions that we miss valuable insights from others. However, feedback is a powerful tool for growth. Whether it comes from a mentor, a colleague, or even a friend, feedback can help us identify blind spots, refine our approach, and develop a more effective strategy moving forward. It's important to view feedback not as criticism, but as an opportunity for improvement. By remaining open to constructive criticism and using it to adjust our methods, we can avoid making the same mistakes again and become more proficient in our efforts. Moreover, learning from mistakes requires us to develop a mindset of experimentation and adaptability. When we make a mistake, it's often because we tried something new or ventured outside of our comfort zone. Rather than retreating back into what feels safe and familiar, it's essential to adopt an experimental mindset. In this mindset, mistakes are not failures, but part of the process of discovery and growth. Each mistake brings us one step closer to finding the solution that works. It encourages us to be more innovative, creative, and resourceful. Embracing this mindset helps us to stay motivated even when things don't go as planned. It encourages us to keep trying different approaches until we find the one that leads to success. Additionally, reflecting on our mistakes helps us to build emotional intelligence and resilience. Setbacks can be emotionally draining, and it's easy to get discouraged or frustrated. However, when we take the time to reflect on what went wrong, we can process our emotions in a healthy way. This reflection allows us to identify the specific aspects of the setback that were within our control and the aspects that were beyond our influence. It also helps us to understand our own reactions to challenges, which can improve our decision-making in the future. By acknowledging our mistakes and their emotional impact, we build the mental fortitude needed to recover from setbacks and move forward with greater clarity and purpose. Another important aspect of learning from mistakes is the development of patience and perseverance. It's easy to become discouraged when things don't go according to plan, but setbacks often require us to keep going, even when progress is slow. Mistakes teach us that success is rarely instantaneous. It takes time, effort, and persistence to achieve meaningful goals. Each mistake along the way is a reminder that success is a journey, not a destination. By learning to embrace the process, including the mistakes and failures, we cultivate the patience necessary to keep moving forward, even when the road seems long. Learning from mistakes also allows us to improve our problem-solving abilities. When something goes wrong, we are forced to evaluate the situation, identify potential solutions, and try new strategies. This process enhances our critical thinking and problem-solving skills, which are essential in overcoming setbacks. Every mistake we make is an opportunity to refine our ability to analyze challenges and develop effective solutions. This problem-solving mindset can be incredibly valuable, not only in personal setbacks, but also in professional and collaborative settings, where quick thinking and adaptability are often needed to navigate unexpected challenges. In the context of turning setbacks into comebacks, learning from mistakes is essential for building long-term success. It's not enough to simply overcome a setback, we must also learn from it and use that knowledge to create a better future. Mistakes give us the opportunity to grow, to sharpen our skills, and to become better prepared for future challenges. Instead of being discouraged by mistakes, we can reframe them as necessary steps toward progress. Each time we learn from a mistake, we become more capable, more confident, and more equipped to tackle the next challenge. In conclusion, learning from mistakes is an essential component of turning setbacks into comebacks. Mistakes are not obstacles to be feared, but opportunities to learn, grow, and improve. By embracing our mistakes, reflecting on the lessons they provide, and using them to adapt and refine our approach, we can build the resilience and skills necessary to overcome any setback. Success is not defined by a lack of failure, but by the ability to learn from failure and use it to propel us forward. When we view mistakes as stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks, we empower ourselves to turn setbacks into comebacks, each one stronger and more capable than before. Building resilience and mental toughness is crucial in transforming setbacks into comebacks. Life is unpredictable, and setbacks are an inevitable part of any journey toward success. Whether personal or professional, we all face challenges, disappointments, and hardships that can test our limits. In these moments, having the mental resilience to persist through adversity is essential for recovery and ultimate success. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks, adapt to difficult circumstances, and continue forward with determination and a positive mindset. It is a skill that can be developed and strengthened over time, allowing us to navigate the ups and downs of life with greater ease and confidence. One of the key components of resilience is the ability to maintain a positive outlook in the face of adversity. It's easy to become consumed by negative emotions when things go wrong. We might feel defeated, discouraged, or even helpless. However, resilience allows us to reframe our thoughts and focus on the potential for growth and improvement. Instead of dwelling on what went wrong, resilient individuals look for opportunities to learn from the experience and see the setback as a temporary obstacle rather than a permanent failure. Maintaining a positive mindset doesn't mean ignoring the difficulties we face, but rather choosing to focus on what we can control and how we can use the setback to propel us forward. Another critical aspect of resilience is self-belief. When we encounter setbacks, our confidence can be shaken, and we may question our abilities. Resilience involves maintaining faith in ourselves and our capabilities, even when external circumstances suggest otherwise. Building self-belief requires recognizing past successes and reminding ourselves of the strengths that have helped us overcome challenges in the past. Even in the midst of a setback, resilient individuals draw strength from their previous experiences and trust that they have the tools and resources to overcome whatever obstacles lie ahead. Cultivating self-belief is essential for maintaining motivation and pushing through difficult times. It allows us to persevere even when the road seems uncertain or the odds seem stacked against us. Resilience also involves emotional regulation, the ability to manage our emotions in challenging situations. Setbacks often evoke strong emotional responses, such as frustration, anger, or sadness. However, resilient individuals know that emotions are a natural part of the human experience, but they do not let those emotions control their actions or decisions. Instead of allowing negative emotions to dictate their behavior, they acknowledge and process their feelings, but they don't let them derail their efforts. They practice emotional regulation by taking a step back, breathing, and finding ways to stay calm and focused. By managing their emotions, they are able to approach the situation with a clearer mind and make more rational decisions, which ultimately helps them recover from setbacks more effectively. An important part of building resilience is the willingness to face discomfort and uncertainty. When setbacks occur, it's easy to want to retreat into familiar, safe spaces. However, resilience requires stepping out of our comfort zones and facing the discomfort that often accompanies growth. Resilient individuals understand that personal and professional growth doesn't come without challenges. They recognize that adversity is a natural part of the journey, and that facing discomfort head-on is often the best way to grow stronger. By embracing the discomfort that comes with setbacks, we can build the mental toughness needed to overcome future obstacles. This willingness to endure discomfort builds resilience over time, teaching us how to thrive in uncertainty and adversity. Resilience is also about adaptability, the ability to adjust to new situations and challenges as they arise. Setbacks often force us to reevaluate our plans and strategies, as the path we originally envisioned may no longer be available or viable. Resilient individuals are flexible and open-minded, recognizing that the ability to adapt is essential to overcoming setbacks. They don't rigidly hold on to their original plans. Instead, they are willing to pivot and find new solutions when necessary. This adaptability allows them to navigate obstacles with greater ease, as they are not constrained by a fixed mindset or the expectation that things will always go according to plan. They understand that change is inevitable, and that the ability to adapt is a critical skill in overcoming setbacks. Support systems also play a significant role in building resilience. No one is truly resilient on their own. We all need the support of others during tough times. Resilient individuals often lean on their support networks, family, friends, mentors, or colleagues to help them through difficult moments. These individuals provide emotional support, encouragement, and sometimes practical assistance. Building a strong support system is an essential part of resilience because it provides a safety net when things get tough. By relying on others, we can gain perspective, receive advice, and feel encouraged to keep moving forward. It's important to remember that asking for help is not a sign of weakness, but a demonstration of strength and self-awareness. Another key factor in resilience is perseverance, the ability to keep going despite repeated setbacks. It's easy to give up after experiencing failure or hardship, but resilient individuals have the determination to keep moving forward, even when things aren't going as planned. Perseverance is what drives people to keep trying, even when they face obstacles that seem insurmountable. It involves having the mental strength to push through difficult moments and remain committed to the larger goal. Resilience and perseverance go hand in hand, as resilience allows us to keep going after a setback, and perseverance ensures that we don't give up along the way. Developing resilience requires practice and a willingness to grow. It's not something that happens overnight, but rather something that is built over time through experiences and intentional effort. One of the best ways to cultivate resilience is to embrace challenges and view them as opportunities to strengthen mental toughness. Each setback is a chance to practice resilience, build emotional regulation, and develop a deeper sense of self-belief. Over time, as we face and overcome challenges, we become more resilient and better equipped to handle future setbacks. In conclusion, building resilience and mental toughness is a fundamental part of turning setbacks into comebacks. Resilience allows us to maintain a positive outlook, trust in our abilities, manage our emotions, and adapt to new circumstances, even in the face of adversity. It is the foundation that helps us navigate life's challenges and keep moving forward, no matter how difficult the road may seem. By cultivating resilience, we develop the strength and mindset needed to turn setbacks into valuable lessons, stepping stones, and ultimately comebacks. Through perseverance, emotional regulation, and support from others, we can build the mental toughness required to overcome any obstacle and achieve our long-term goals.